Hey there, everybody. This is the syllabus video. Like I've mentioned before, it's really not my intention to read to you all of the syllabus or all the pages from the text. So I'm really just going to come through here and highlight the important things as we go through. Hopefully you've already listened to the syllabus addendum, the piece that comes before that here, just so you're not thinking that the brief overview here of the high notes means that the syllabus is not important. I don't think that. I know many of you don't think that, but I also know that you can read. So I'm trying to treat your time as precious. Here on the home page, or the front page rather, of the syllabus, you will notice that on the left-hand side, I do have my office phone, which is going to be the least reflexive way to get a hold of me. Only voicemails are forwarded to me, not the live call itself. So that means no matter what you do with the office phone at RVC, I will not get it live. The cell phone that is listed here is, in fact, a live phone number. So that's the one that if you need an immediate response, I suggest that you use. Please do remember just to identify yourself, something like, hi, this is Eric from WEB101 is miles better than, hey, I have a question on the homework, click, because that doesn't help me identify just who exactly you are. Even though it still says here hybrid, this is in fact online. I believe part of the transition was just to leave that be. So don't worry about the hybrid piece there. Here on the second page, absolutely positively, you do need the textbook. It's Basics of Web Design, the 4th edition. Make sure you're not getting the 3rd or the 5th edition. The 4th edition ought to be had pretty inexpensively if you buy it used or rent it through, Amazon or the bookstore or etc. One word of caution for those of you who want to roll the dice with a PDF copy obtained through extra legal means. Somebody attempted that last semester, and it turned out many to most of the case studies were missing. So that didn't end up saving too much money for too long. You will need a copy of brackets just because Notepad is going to drive you crazy. So there are videos here on how to install and how to use and how to get the most out of brackets. It is my suggestion that that is the way you'll want to go with that. But I always include alternatives. Atom, ATOM, is a great developer's environment. And it's also free, and it works on every platform. So both brackets and Atom work identically if you are coming to us from a Windows or from a Mac platform. I have made this suggestion before, but just in case you didn't catch it in any of the other videos, if you are using a Chromebook, reach out to me ASAP, and we will do what we can to make your experience as painless as possible. That is the best I can do for those of you with a Chromebook. Like, I'm looking at my Chromebook right now going, you're no good for web design. Well, maybe not for web design, but certainly for web development, there's a lot of compromises. So let me know if you are my student that has a Chromebook, and we will do what we can to mitigate the pain there. Methods of assessment, you can see them here. Assignments are not the largest portion of your grade. Actually, the projects are. The assignments comprise the hands-on practices. Those are, like we mentioned in the other videos, or will mention in the other videos, those are spread throughout the chapters so that you can develop a muscle memory around all of the keywords and syntax that you need for HTML. The projects are all of those things where you take what you have learned in the hands-on practices, take what you have learned in the case studies at the end of the chapter, and create much more modern-looking and, frankly, better web pages. So that's the distribution here. If you were hoping just to be able to hang on and do the homework, unfortunately, that's not going to get you a passing grade. Those projects are just an immense portion of the overall grading. The grading scale is 100% typical, so there's no surprises there. Here, it's number 2 on page 3. You have a one-time grace period. If we have not negotiated a reason why you are going to be handing something in late, and do remember, because again, that is in some of the other podcasts or videos as well, is that if you have an issue over the course of a week, whether or not that is academic or personal or work or other, that is going to prevent you from getting something done on time, reach out and we'll work on that. If it's very, very late in the session and, it's noon the day everything is due and you're like, hey, I'm going to need more time. Yeah, you're going to need more time. You should have thought of that before. I'm not as prone to negotiate at that point. But look, I understand that sooner or later something is going to happen. So I'm granting everybody a one-time 24-hour grace period that you, the student, have to initiate by messaging me to let me know that it's going to be late. Don't just put it in the comments in Eagle. You have to actually message me because otherwise I will not see it. So that is there. Attendance is going to be marked as attended if you hand in homework for the week. If you do not reach out and you do not hand in homework for the week, you have not attended. And the attendance policy is, for those of you who have not attended 2 sessions out of the 8 sessions, I will, if before the midterm, drop you, and if after the midterm, fail you. Attendance is mandatory. This is a course, right? It's not just a textbook that you can pick up. It's, there's material, there's a time frame and all of those things. So I do maintain that attendance. Here, this is page 4 of the syllabus. You can see, for the most part, how everything breaks down over the course of our 8 weeks. You can see here the final exam time and date, which there really isn't one. But everything is going to be due by Thursday at 6 on August 6th. The last day to withdraw from the course is listed here. I have for you the academic, the records and registration, and the operations calendar, just so that you can see it. The academic honesty standards and procedures here. The academic honesty statement essentially says, don't cheat, Eric is going to catch you. Code is like a fingerprint or a handwriting. And in very short order, I get very familiar with your fingerprint, with your handwriting. And when that changes drastically, I get suspicious. So do your own work, because it turns out that I am a pretty good bloodhound. Notification of services for students with disabilities. I like to expand this even more. For any and all of you who have requests, official or otherwise, for any sort of academic, enhancement any place. And I do not know what that means, but I do know that you might know what that means. And I do know that I am going to be willing to try to do whatever it is that enhances your academic experience. So I don't know what that means. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that is documented through, one of Rock Valley's support services. It just let me know, hey, this is going to help me be successful. Let's give it a try. So that's my take on the notification of services for students with disabilities, I think for everybody. Very finally is the instructor's withdrawal policy. Everybody here at Rock Valley College gets to pick one of the 2 of these. The one I have picked is that if you are not proceeding with the course material, if for whatever reason you're not attending, if for whatever reason you're just not handing stuff in, but you are attending, so that means that you're not making sufficient progress towards a successful completion of the course, I can, what is known as administratively withdraw you at the midterm. So that means that I'll just give you a W as withdrawn, and you will not have any long-term lasting academic penalty. Those students who, do not withdraw after the midterm, I will, if for whatever reason, if you have stopped attending or if you have just continued to attend, but you have not handed in homework, I am going to fail you at that point. The whole point is to get work turned in so we can evaluate how you're doing with the material. So progress with the material that way. Our standard boilerplate disclaimer here is the very last thing on the syllabus, which says the preceding information is to be considered as a guideline for students. It is not a tablet written in stone. Assignments, due dates, test dates, etc. may change as needed over the course of the course, because if there's anything that this year has taught us, it's that flexibility is as important now as it ever has been. So that is the brief of the syllabus. You are welcome to go back, read it over with a more fine-tooth comb, and reach out if you have any questions or comments or concerns.